Leeds, Leeds, Leeds. What is happening? Welcome to Series 6 of Working Hours, an oral history podcast about a place called Leeds, a time called now, and an activity called work. Working Hours aims to record 1,000 loiners, that's people from Leeds, over the course of this, the most important decade in the history of the human species, and ask them about what they do all day and hear how they feel about it. My name is Simon, and this is all my fault. My mission here is to try to map out what my city, Leeds, a city that has declared a climate emergency, did during humanity's biggest emergency. On Working Hours, we hear how loiners have, are, and will be coping with our multiple and expanding crises during their day-to-day working hours. Can we turn things around? We'll find out. To tell this story, I need loiners like you, dear listener. I need people in Leeds or people from Leeds to come on this podcast and tell me about what they do and let me record how this decade affects us. These are long-form interviews meant to challenge the short attention span content economy. That means they aren't always easy listening, but in my view, they are all worth listening to. They all tell us something about our guest, our city, and our time, not to mention something of what it's like to do that job and how someone got into that job. You're helping this project right now by being a listener, and I'd love for you to consider becoming a guest or a supporter of this project. Thank you for listening to this episode. What did you want to be when you grew up?
I had absolutely no idea, apart from the fact I wanted to be a professional footballer.
Did you have a particular team at the time? Were you a Leeds boy?
Yeah, I was brought up in South Leeds,
and
I went to school 200 yards from the ground, so I had no choice.
So I take it you spent a lot of time there.
A lot of time there, yeah. Spending a lot of time there again at the moment.
Yeah.
Which is, touch wood, is quite good at the moment.
Yeah.
Seems to be doing quite well. But yeah, I was a goalkeeper back in the day, and I was pretty decent, but I was never going to make it, so it was just a pipe dream.
Yeah. Did you pursue it for long? Did you do sort of camps in summer and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I went to, there was an old Leeds United, so at Yorkshire Evening Post Soccer Academy for Oakwood, and it was sponsored by Kevin Keegan, so Kevin Keegan was there, Peter Lorimer was there. And my claim to fame is I actually saved a penalty from Peter Lorimer. So nice. that was great. Apart from that, yeah, it was great. It rained for the entire week, but it was good fun. But that's as far as I got. I was never going to be. I was never going to make it to the pro ranks.
Yeah. So Rebecca, same question.
When I was growing up, I wanted to be a TV chef or a TV cook.
Okay.
Because I loved baking and cooking with my mum and my grandma, and I don't know where the television kind of side of it came from, because not sure there was many cookery programs in those days. I don't know, there must have been, but there was something I wanted to show people how to make.
I'm immediately thinking of Rusty Lee, but then I'm thinking of other.
Yeah. There will have definitely been that influence for me to, have that idea in my head, but yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
Did you ever do that thing? Me and my sister, when we used to bake, we'd do like a TV show and we'd measure out all the ingredients in sort of bowls so that they were all there. Did you do that?
Yeah, it was that kind of thing, yeah. But I was probably bossing my mum or my grandma around about how much to weigh out and where to put it at the time, yeah.
You're listening to Series 6, Episode 11, and to my guest, Tasty Leeds. This is another in-person recorded at Santander Work Cafe in Leeds, recorded on the 13th of February 2025. Hello, colleagues. I've been so looking forward to this interview, just so I can tell you that they brought me cakes, which makes them instantly my favourite guests ever, because cake. And they were bloody nice cakes too. And I should have made content about them, but you know how I feel about social media. Paul and Rebecca Bolster are the owners of Tasty Kitchen and Coffee, a beloved family-friendly cafe in Oakwood, Leeds. Paul and Rebecca share their insights on managing social media, handling customer service, and the impact of local events like the Oakwood Farmers Market on the area. They've built Tasty Kitchen and Coffee over the years to where it is today with a lot of hard work and by understanding their internal and external customers, both what they want and what they need. The cafe is also supported by their thriving outside catering business, where they have catered for several large-scale events, including backstage catering at Leeds Festival for the artists for 6 years, as well as regular corporate and party catering throughout the Leeds area. Paul has also recently opened a new pizza restaurant, Ottimo Pizza, with another business partner also in Oakwood, and that's been getting some great reviews, and they're starting to see that really take off after a tricky few months at the end of 2024. Paul also tells us how he's looking to use his 28 years of knowledge and experience in hospitality to help other small businesses grow in these challenging economic times. He'll be focusing on all things customer service, operations, marketing, financials, but most importantly, people. Right, let's do this. Episode 166 of Working Hours with Paul and Rebecca Bolster from Tasty Leeds. What is it that you're doing now?
So we have a family-friendly cafe in North Leeds called Tasty Kitchen and Coffee, which is just opposite Oakwood Clock. And we've been there we've just gone into our 14th year.
Initially started in Headingley. So we started off as a little sandwich shop on a side street in Headingley. After a few years, we thought this is fantastic, and then decided to find another unit, open in Oakwood. Had the two businesses running side by side for a while, and then sold the one in Headingley, and then really focused on Oakwood.
Yeah, I've seen the branding around, and I'm kind of like, where are you? Like, I know you, where are you? Go on, sorry.
We've just been also running an outside catering business sort of from when we had Headingley alongside, so that's kind of doing like party events, catering, offices, that type of thing. We've also done Leeds Festival, Tour de Yorkshire,
various events around the park and stuff. So we'd rock up with a big gazebo, big barbecue. We'd have meat smoking all night. So that was good. I think that's more a young man's game. I'm now into my 50s now, so it's getting a bit tough for that. So we're just focused on the office catering side of things. But the primary part of our business is the cafe.
Is that still the biggest earner?
Yeah, absolutely. It's quite essential. A lot of customers treat it as a bit of a community hub. There's a few older people live in the area. They're in sheltered housing or in various residential homes, but they spend a lot of time there. We've got a lot of young families come to us. People always ask me, what's your demographic? And it's such a broad demographic, and I think that's probably intentional from us, because we've tried not to pigeonhole ourselves and be a concept and just do one particular thing. We've got quite a broad menu, which has got some traditional things on there, but it's also got some things we like to follow food trends a little bit, but not be dictated by them. Regular trips down to London, that sort of thing, to look at what's new, what's happening, and that works really well. So we've got a broad customer base, and that's probably why we're still there after 14 years.
And so when you opened the second shop in Oakwood, did that immediately sort of do well? Because my initial thought there is Headingley's going to be the better spot for you, because you've got all the student trade, you've got a particular market that's starting somewhere new, and Oakwood's like a place now. It's a spot, much more than it used to be, but it wasn't then. No.
When we got the shop in Headingley, we bought an existing business. When we got the unit in Headingley, it was a unit, and we had to start in Oakwood, and we had to start from scratch, building a client base, and that was really, really hard, and it took a few years to get going. But on the comment that you just made about Headingley, Headingley was really busy, and then Boddington Hall, I don't know if you remember that, the big student halls, that closed down, and we started to see the students go out of Headingley into Leeds. Footfall dropped, and then that's when Paul said it's time for us to kind of think about our exit.
Yeah.
I remember about 2 weeks into Oakwood, and I said to Rebecca, I think we've made the biggest mistake ever here, because we were there. There was nobody in Oakwood. There was 2 or 3 people walking past every hour. There was a couple of banks. There was a I think one other cafe, another restaurant, and a few second-hand, a few charity shops, and there was just nothing there, and it was new to us as well. We transferred exactly what we were doing in Headingley into Oakwood. So once word got about, after 3 or 4 months, we were doing egg mayonnaise sandwiches that we were doing in Headingley for £2.10, but we had a shop full of people buying egg mayonnaise sandwiches at £2.10 and making absolutely no money.
Yeah.
And also it was table service, so it was kind of we'd gone from a really fast moving sandwich shop to a sit
like
down
a cafe restaurant. Yeah.
And so that was a massive learning curve for us.
So I mean, the next question's how did you get into it? So, but I suppose there's an additional question in there. So I take it you met before you started the business.
Yeah. I think we've been married a couple of years, haven't we? And we both wanted to be self-employed, and food was our kind of joint passion interest. And also Paul, I don't think you've talked about your formative years, but Paul had got a lot of experience in food, so kind of.
So I left school. Well, I started a summer job at McDonald's after I'd done my GCSEs, and I was going to go back to sixth form. I decided to press my snooze alarm on the day that I was supposed to go back to sixth form, which consigned me to several years working my way up through the ranks at McDonald's, which I know it gets a bad rep sometimes, but the training that they give you there is absolutely fantastic, because you're working with a lot of people there who might not necessarily want to be working there, so you've got to get the best out of those people, and you understand all aspects of the business, from human resources, health and safety, food safety, to staff management or team management, and so I learned a hell of a lot. Ended up working my way up to restaurant manager, did that for a few years, and then managed to get myself somehow a job as a bank manager.
Sorry, how did that happen?
So I was looking for another role, and I applied for this bank manager job.
Yeah.
And basically it was very similar, believe it or not, to running a restaurant, because you were tasked with managing a team, getting the best out of that team. There were sales targets in there. There was human resources.
You've got a certain budget, and
this is your budget. This is what you need to achieve. You need to understand your P&Ls. So even though they're completely different types of work, they were very similar. And the area management team at Barclays, where I was, they saw that potential in me. Yeah, and I enjoyed it there. I did really well. I was branch manager. I was a sales coach for a while. Eventually won one of the last away trips before the financial crash, through sales targets. So really enjoyed my time there. But then that's when myself and Rebecca thought, well, not really enjoying this as much as I can be. What do we want to do? We want to work for ourselves. And then managed to find a unit in Headingley, which was great.
So did you have how far did you go with sort of concept? Was it just we need a unit and we need to start making stuff and we'll make sandwiches? That's pretty straightforward.
We called it Project Tasty for quite a long time between our family and friends, because we were obviously doing market research and trying to find the right space, because we looked at a place in Ilkley, didn't we? We looked at a unit in Ilkley, a business in Ilkley, a business in Chapel Allerton, and then kind of came across the one in Headingley, which was exciting because of the cricket ground, the students, there's a buzz about it.
And I think the concept we wanted to do was, when I ever used to go for my lunch, I'd always be, you see something on the menu and it'd sound absolutely amazing, and you got it and it was a ham salad sandwich. So we wanted to back up what we were putting on the menu with how it actually tasted. And so I suppose that was the concept. That's where we started, and then the name off the back of that, it was going to be big. We couldn't think of a name, and because of the concept name, which was Project Tasty, we thought, right, we'll go for that.
Mm-hmm.
We were then advised by someone who was doing our marketing, said most big brands generally have one name, or most brands have one name. So we got rid of the project, just stuck with Tasty. So not the most imaginative name.
Works though, doesn't it?
Yeah, but we that's always been our ethos really. So the food that we create has to taste good, and we used to have an A board outside the shop in Headingley, and it had on it, innovate, don't imitate. So that was, and we always had to. So that's where we've looked at different food trends, but we've never gone directly into them. We've done our own take on things.
Mm-hmm.
So that I suppose that's one of the things that that's really important to us as a business. Yeah.
There's lots of things that I'd like to pick at more and sort of bring out more, but we'll go into questions and hopefully things will kind of come out of that. We'll start with COVID. So at this point, have you got both shops still, or are you where are you? You've got Oakwood and Headingley, or?
So no, we sold Headingley so we opened Headingley in 2008. We took on Oakwood in 2000, and we opened in 2011, and then we sold Headingley in 2013.
Okay.
So then, just to throw a bit of a spanner into the works, in 2018. At the golf club I play at, they asked for somebody to take over the catering and the restaurant there. So I opened the Blackmore dining room, which was at Moor Allison Golf Club, and I looked after all the catering there. We opened a sort of semi-fine dining restaurant, Sunday lunches as well, that sort of thing. So we just got that off the ground. It was really starting to do well, and then COVID hit. So we had there, and then we had Headingley. So we had Oakwood. Sorry.
Yeah. So you had two businesses still at that time.
Yeah.
So I mean, the question has kind of come to be, what was it like going into COVID, and what was the experience coming out? Because they seem to be the big points of that. And going, obviously, when we locked down, the sort of three experiences. You're either working all the hours because you're just going, I don't know what's happening, answering the phone, or nobody's ringing you and you're not doing anything, and you're just like, well, what do I do? Or the third option is, well, everything just continued as normal because we were sort of key workers. So hospitality kind of got some. I mean, there were deliveries and so on. So what was your experience? Was it straight pivot into deliveries and concentrate on one area? How was it?
Well, first of all, we've got shut. We were told to close a few days before Mother's Day weekend, so we've got a lot of stock in, especially for the restaurant. So we had to stand on the decking outside Tasty and just try to sell everything that we could sell. And everything must go sale. Because it was all fresh goods, so you had to.
And it's all catering supplies. So who wants 4 pounds of butter?
And then we just had a period of time of just being closed until we could kind of...
It was probably till, was it nearly June, I think?
Yeah.
End of June, and we just
got so bored.
Yeah. The same walk every day. Yeah.
And so we started doing donuts, didn't we, on the decking?
Yeah. And
cakes, because we couldn't have... I think we could open the door, but we couldn't have...
You couldn't have people in.
Yeah. So we'd just stand and sell cakes, but it's not the same... It's not what you need it to be, is it? It's not like...
You're not going to make a massive margin on that and cover all your costs, are you? Yeah.
And then from the golf club, we had the chef was making meals to prepare and heat at home.
Yeah.
So they were really good, but they were barely even covering the wages that we were paying. Or in fact, they probably weren't when you took everything into account. So yes, it was a bit of a struggle, and then as things gradually reopened. At the golf club, we had to buy. We actually managed to crowdfund for some big gazebos so we could sit outside, and that was, people really supported us. And then in the cafe, people really started supporting us when we did open back up. But you could tell that the levels were never anywhere near what they were prior.
Yeah.
And I would say they're probably only just, if that. In fact, they're probably not quite getting back to where they originally were.
Yeah.
But I think people's habits have changed, because we used to get a lot of sort of young families in the shop before COVID, and then we don't have as many. We have a lot of people coming in, but it's just different types of people, so we don't tend to have like the young, the younger children. But then since COVID, because I think people's habits have changed, so they're quite happy to socialise in the suburbs.
Yeah.
And people working from home, so it's residential area, at lunchtime people are out and about, so there's probably a little bit more footfall in the week, earlier on in the week, than there probably was before. So I don't know.
Yeah, but overall things seem to be down, probably the weekend side of things.
Yeah.
It's something it was thrown at us, and we've had to deal with it. We've had to adapt. Yeah, that's why we changed our menu a little bit because of it. It was quite a big menu, although it's getting big again. I keep on getting in trouble for that. So let's bring this special in. Let's put that on the menu. It's doing really well. It's changed what we do. I think it's changed the way that I probably manage people. I manage my team. I've done a few courses off the back of it, and it's probably changed the way that I probably look after my team more than I did before. I understand how important they are, and I think that probably shows with the amount of time that they've stayed with us. We've got our head chef at the cafe's been with us for 12, 13 years now. The rest of the team, the full-time members of the team are 2, 3, 4 years now, and then we do have some transient student staff who work for us for a year or 2 years, but generally
they stay until they
graduate.
Yeah.
Which is a really good sign, because that's a high turnover kind of role. So
I think our turnover before COVID was we probably didn't focus on finding the right people in the first place, and maybe we didn't take into consideration as much their thoughts and feelings. I'm not saying I was ever a bad boss, but I didn't.
No, but it wasn't a priority in the same way. It was just like, we just need someone to do a job, and it's a straightforward job. Can you do it?
And it was probably a lot easier then to hire staff. I think it's become a lot more difficult to find good quality staff since then, for various reasons.
And I think as well, like, our own attitudes have changed to work through that experience. Like many of us had that experience of sitting around with twiddling our thumbs for a few weeks of like, what am I supposed to do? It does change things. So another fun question. So we'll cover Brexit. I don't know if this will have had a major impact or not. It was around about the same time as we're kind of coming out of COVID, so it can get mixed up with that. Has there been any change for you that you've noticed, either of you, since we've Brexited, work-wise?
I think probably on the staffing side of things, it's been a lot more difficult to find good quality staff, because I think the pool of staff has diminished. A lot of hospitality, there was a lot of people from Europe, and a lot of those people are now not available to work. So I think that's had a big impact. I think the cost of goods has gone up massively, which I think oil, for example, so the cost of cooking oil used to be for a £20 gallon or 20 litre drum, it was about £14-15. Now, at one point it went up to £50.
Wow.
Now it's down to the mid-20s, but that's still almost doubled in price. So the cost of food, I think, has definitely gone up. I think that's probably the only two things that have affected us.
I think the staffing across the industry, I think Brexit's caused a big problem.
That's setting me off, and I can't get distracted. And what about this and this? So I'll move us on to how we're doing for time. We seem to be going okay, right? So let's do the climate change question. I'm just going to check this is still recording. So again, this is one of those questions. It's an area that I want to talk about, but I also want to, again, look at this through a work lens. So from your perspective, like in your work, is climate change a factor? Is it a consideration? Is it something that you plan in, or is it like a nice to have, or like where does it sit, and is it part of your working process?
I'll be 100% honest. I don't think it's massively affected us.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I would say is if I think we've noticed a bit of a change in how wet it's become. But that's not necessarily been a massive downside for us, because cloudy, drizzly weather, if you've got a cafe, is generally not bad for you.
Yeah, it's somewhere to sit out of the rain, isn't it, and contemplate. Yeah.
If it's a really nice, bright, sunny day, people are off in the park or they're off doing their own thing. But if it's just sort of average weather, not too hot, not too cold, a bit drizzly, that seems to be okay for us. I mean, the only impact that really, I suppose, has on us will be food prices. Food prices potentially going up. And then the only other thing that I see is on our utility bills, the climate change levy. But that we just seem to absorb that and soak that up. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's been a massive thing for us. And I don't think it's something that, I don't think we'd particularly choose any different suppliers because of it or anything like that.
I mean, it's not like a lot of the stuff you can buy is locally produced. We still have a big agricultural sector, and you're not flying around the world to deliver your food or anything.
No.
So. Do you anything to add on that?
No.
Okay. So the other one is social media. So this might be a fairly big area for you. So and I'll get discrete answers from both of you on this. I'll start with you, Rebecca.
Yeah.
So what I want to look at is how much time you need to spend on socials.
Yeah.
Like how much of your work does it take up, and also, is that a good use of your time? Do you get the return on time investment that you want from social media? I guess I'm asking, can you make it work for you?
So I tend to do the social media for tasting.
Yeah.
And I am not very strategic at it. I kind of think of something or see something, and and just kind of go with my thought. I spend a lot of time wording, rewording, double checking. Should I send it? Shouldn't I send it? Oh, there's a customer to serve. So I can start writing a post in the morning, and then it's still going on at the end of the day. I don't think you get as many interactions as you used to do on social media.
Yeah. You're not sure how to feel about it, are you?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think we have to do it, and I think it's got its positives. I think it's also got some negatives, but I feel like it's just expected nowadays. So it has to be done. Yeah.
Does it feel like a chore there of like I've just got to put something out?
Sometimes you feel like you're saying something for the sake of saying it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you've got something that you really want to get across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think your style is quite personal. It's not corporate in any way. It's telling a story from your point of view. So it does feel quite natural the way that Rebecca does.
That's the good way. That's the
and
best way.
And that fits with our brand because we're not corporate. We're friendly. We're approachable. And
local.
That's what we want the social media to be. And local. And that's what we want the social media to be.
Are you? Have you done much video yet? Or are you? I've taken the plunge and done some video ones. I basically just sat down in front of the phone and just did a bunch of takes, and then I think I've did about 20, and I've used like 5 of them.
Yeah. And do you find that you get more?
Yeah, instantly more engagement. It's the way to go. Video, face out if you can brave it. Yeah. But after you've done the first couple, it's like anything else. You sort of I think once you get to that point where you're just like, I'm just doing this post now.
Yeah.
Because it needs to be that sort of throwaway, and your tendency is like, I need to be professional, and I need to put effort in and time and work, and it's not really what it's for, is it? It's a weird one, I think.
When we first got the shop in Headingley, social media wasn't really a thing then. It was only just starting to be known about, and businesses didn't have pages, so we would get custom through word of mouth or traditional advertising, and so this is is just a massive evolution, isn't it? That social media is now so expected, and there's so many different platforms as well to kind of consider.
Yeah, it's where to be, where your customer's going to be, and are they even going to be on social media?
Yeah, because some of our demographic.
No, they're not going to be. Yeah.
But as a consumer of social media, you are right about video. That you'll watch a video, whereas if it's just a picture, it's gone within half a second, unless it's something that really catches your eye. So I do think it's definitely something that we can benefit from by doing video. It's just how do you not make it look really amateurish? That's the problem. You see,
But as well, it's because you can put all the time and the production value in, like do a really good videography post, but what's it going to do? Do you know what I mean? Like the best thing is to put the least amount of effort in and put it out there, and then if it does something, then brilliant. But you need that. I think you need that kind of strategic mind of who's it for, and like what are the search, all of that kind of stuff. But I think that's it. It feels to me after a few years of doing that it's a practice thing. Like I did a post the other day. It's been my most successful post on a sort of attracting guests, and I sort of tagged some people in, and off the back of that I've got 3-4 guests coming to me, which is the most successful post I've ever done. The other one was someone shared one of my posts, and I got a bunch of people off the back of that, but that's because they had a huge audience. And it's those kind of things. It's hitting something that makes someone in your network hit share, and that's when the magic happens, I think. And it's that I just need to do something that's fun. I'll tell you what's a really good one that I kind of watch a lot. You know, Verve Bar on Marion Street. They've been doing this thing called Will It Marg. I don't know if you've seen it. No. So they're just filming, like, they just take various things and they're like, will this be a margarita? Like spinach or whatever. And then they like blend it and make a margarita and like, is this okay? No, it's horrible. But that's great because you've got a whole series of posts that you can do and people will watch it because it's like, oh yeah, is that going to be really disgusting? Yeah, it is. Do you want to add any more on the social media front? Do you do much of it? Have you done much of it yourself?
Not really, no. As well as Tasty, I don't know if you know, we've opened a pizza restaurant next door to Tasty called Ottimo. I'm doing that with a business partner, and for the first 6 months of the business, we just did little bits of social media. I think it had a detrimental effect because we started off really well, and then we didn't continue to get the message out there, and we had a bit of a dip, sort of September, October time. So then we decided to recruit someone to do our social media and marketing, and they've created a strategy around it. We get quite a lot of video on Reels, and they occasionally come across and film a Friday night service or something like that. And I think we're definitely seeing the benefit of that. One of the funniest posts is our head chef Russ makes some rhubarb jam for one of the pizzas, and he's pouring the rhubarb jam into a big jar, and I think it got something like 15,000 views just out of nothing. So it's you don't know what's gonna
process is massive, because I think especially. So subjectively, from my perspective, I love all that, all the factory videos and stuff. Because you used to see loads of that on TV when you were a kid, and like, how is rock made? And like, here's the big giant rock, and we'll roll it down into this, and it's like, oh, that's fascinating. And there's nowhere where that exists. That's not on telly anymore. So when you see it online, it's like, people want to see. They want to see how it's made. How is the sausage made? Well, you maybe don't want to see that, but
at the top of my to-do list every week, it's work on social media strategy. But then I just hit a brick wall,
and you're like, God, that's boring. I'm not doing that.
And where do I even start with it? And whereas I know with Ottimo, with the pizza restaurant, there's somebody who's taking care of that. But we've tried having somebody looking after our social media, and that's actually something that has been affected by COVID, because before COVID we had the social media person looking after our social media for probably 2 years. And because of costs in COVID, we then had to take it back in house, which we do still like the fact now that it's back in house because it's our spin on it.
Yeah.
We thought we'd lost a bit of control.
And it comes from our voice as well.
Yeah.
I think it's harder for somebody else to replicate. Even if you say I want you to say this, it's your words. It's your style, isn't it?
But yeah, I just wish that we could develop a bit more of a strategy around it, so it wasn't just ad hoc and seeing things that happen. So that's the balance that we need to try and work on.
Are you trying to do sort of several posts a week, or are you just trying to do whenever you can? Well, because I would say probably posting once a week is probably better than trying to do more, because because then you're kind of feeding the algorithm, you're keeping it alive, and as well, if you just kind of throw the posts out a bit, well, not too much, but some of them you kind of go, I don't care so much. Because everyone, the amount of people that I've interviewed, and they're like, yeah, it's always the one that I don't put any effort into. It's the one that goes viral.
It's always the dog pictures. We're a dog-friendly café, and we have loads of dogs come in, so I take pictures of the dogs. We've got a dog wall, all the dogs are on the wall, take them to social media, pop a dog on, all the likes. That's how you win social media. No, I do at least one a week. I try to do like more frequently.
But it's getting the time as well, isn't it?
Yeah, because we work hands-on in the shop, so it's kind of sometimes you see something and you think, oh, that'd be a great picture, but you're really busy and you just don't have time to take the snap, so you kind of think that would be a fab picture, but I can't get it right now. So
I mean, I should, and I probably won't do it today, I should take photos when especially in-person meetings. And when I get the odd person that I'm interviewing and they're a bit more savvy, they will take a photo and use it for their posts, and I'm like, but also I'm getting people to come and speak to me, strangers to come and speak to me, and I'm kind of like, I'm already imposing. I don't want to be like taking photos as well. But it's not, it's part of the process, isn't it? And you have to get into that swing of it. Do we want to say anything more on social media at the moment?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. No, I think I'm good with it. Yeah.
Okay, so because we had a little chat before and you've got something that you're planning, Paul, I'm going to do the UBI question first, and then we'll come to the change question, and I think that should lead into the other bit. Yeah. So if there was are you both familiar with universal basic income? Right. So if there was a universal basic income, do you think that would affect your business or your work?
Would it affect it? I think it would potentially. It could make us a lot busier, because it'd give people a lot more free time to do the things that they want to do. I think it may make it more difficult for us to recruit staff. So on the reason I think it potentially make us busier, I think it would probably encourage more people to be creative and do things that they want to do, and not spend 5 days a week behind a desk somewhere doing something they don't want to do. So that would give people a lot more free time. I think it could potentially be a good thing. I've listened to a few podcasts about it, and various people having the saying. Some people saying it'd be horrendous, some people say it'd be great. I can see both sides of the story, but to me, I think it would be good for our business, definitely.
I think even if we just tried it for a few years, of like, we need to try stuff. We're going to try this. Has it worked? Where are we?
I know they tried it in Finland.
There's been pilots all over.
I'm not sure how it went. Whether
it generally seems to go okay from what I've seen of things of pilots, but But we'll see. I mean, it's another way for me to kind of look at, kind of detach work from money and sort of think, how much does the money matter, kind of thing. Like, would you still be doing the same thing? Was kind of the point of the question.
You see, I didn't even think about myself receiving any universal basic income.
You just thought about other people getting it.
I just thought about our customers and our team. So it didn't even hit me that I'd be getting the.
So I'll ask you this question then, because it was one that I was going to ask this morning. So, if you were getting it, and you're in a place, you're happy enough with what you're spending, you can afford your lifestyle, this is just additional payment that's coming in. What would you do with that? Would you invest it, or would you give it to a charity, or would you just give it to, I don't know, spending money for someone? Or?
That's quite a deep question. I've never even really thought about that.
It's a hard one.
Yeah. I think one of the natural things would be to give it to give some of it to some charities to help other people. My brother had various struggles through his life, and he's passed away since. But yeah, a charity which would have potentially helped someone in his position. I think that's something I said after he passed away. I said I'd love to do something like that, and that'd be a real good way of being able to do that. Moving away from what I would do for the money myself or ourselves, I think it'd probably allow us to one of our what's the word? One of the things that we love doing is travelling. We've not been able to do that much since COVID, so that would be great if we could spend a little bit more of our time each year spending a week or two away. So that's on a purely sort of selfish level. Yeah, I think that pretty much sums up what we do.
I think you're allowed to be selfish with it.
I think as well, like whenever we travel, we always get some sort of influence for work through wherever we go and whatever we do, because there's always you're always in a hospitality venue, or there's always food around, or architecture, or just, it could be anything, and you just think, oh, that's a nice idea, or I could sort of implement that, or whatever. So I think that's like quite a good experience to have.
I'm just thinking if I want to spend any more time on that. I'm going to crack on.
It would be nice to be able to use some of that money to invest in our future, in our pensions. So that would be, because sometimes we feel that with the way things have gone, you're focusing on now. And all you're doing is working, and then you're not thinking about the future, and the money that you're earning is the money that you're spending. So yeah, to have something that, because I feel that we as a business, we've always we've employed quite a few people over the years. We've created employment. We've contributed to. We've got our taxes, we've paid the VAT on everything.
Fed a lot of people.
Yeah, we've fed a lot of people, we've kept a lot of people happy, we've put a lot of... We like to think that we've put some joy into some people's lives with the experiences they've had with us. It'd be nice to get something back. Yeah, I think that'd be a real positive for us, because I feel we've the nature of our business is customer service, and it's serving people and looking after people. It'd be nice if something came back our way. If that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's nice to be appreciated. So I don't know if you listened to the one with Joe Holsworth from Swine That Dines. I might have got her surname wrong.
No, I've not. I saw that you'd done one with her, but I've not had a chance to listen to it.
It's a good interview, that, and she was talking about, you know, going to see the venues and stuff, and just seeing how people have done that, and I thought it was interesting that you guys have sort of said the same thing. But yeah, they did that crowdfunder recently for the move, and I think that's the thing. It's that sort of thing of knowing that people kind of actually appreciate what you've done. It's like, it's all well and good to have a business that's turning over and making money, but it's like, do people like it though? Like, they're turning up, they obviously do like it, but do they appreciate it? They're like, do they know we're involved in this? Is this just a place? And it's being recognised, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we do. We've got a lot of like regular customers and really lovely customers, and they will say, "Oh, we're so glad you're here," or "Don't ever, don't go anywhere," or so we do know that we appreciate it.
Yeah. So sometimes you think, "Oh God, why am I doing this? What am I doing? And then going back to COVID, the way that everybody really supported us, and just didn't want us to struggle, and they came and they bought our bags of flour and our trays of eggs and things, and it's really good to feel appreciated.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm going to do the change question now. So bearing in mind that you run the business, so you can change a lot of things if you want to. So this is a really hard question sometimes for people that run their businesses. So if you could, they don't have to be the same. You don't have to do all three, but I'm going to ask you both for three. So I'm going to start with you, Rebecca. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Oh, no.
You don't have to have three.
Right.
They don't have to be realistic. You can be very fantastical if you want. So if you could change any three things about your work, what would you change? I get the feeling you'd want to change the social media. Well, either have more time to do it or have someone else do it.
I think, or kind of, I don't think it's have somebody else do it, because I like the fact that it comes from us, but I think it's probably more about me. I wish I was a bit more organised to kind of have a plan in place. I think, that would be my, that would be my thing that I need to do.
Your main change.
Yeah.
Anything about the shop or the unit that you'd like to change?
I mean, sometimes if it was a bit bigger, it would be nice when we're really busy. Swap it to the side of the road where it gets the sunshine.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good one. Can't do it, but, you know, if I could.
Yeah, we don't get the sun till about 2:00 in the afternoon, and it would be nice if we were just positioned on the opposite side of the road, but you can't win them all.
No major ones.
No.
Well, that's good. It shows you're happy.
Yeah.
Paul?
So, I've implemented quite a few changes and plans over the last couple of years, from doing the Help to Grow course, and the follow-up to that is like action learning sets, where you have a problem and then your peers help you answer those problems. And that's been a massive change for the business and for myself, and I just wish I could have either been on that course, or I could have started that process 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Because I've got into the way that we've run the cafe has just been, we're just there, and it's almost been allowed to run its own course, rather than having a laser focus where I say, right, this is what we're going to achieve, this is how we're going to do it together, this is where we're going to be in 5 years, 10 years or whatever. I wish I could turn back time and start that process a lot earlier. On the physical side of the cafe, I wish we could spend some money on renovations. When we first got there, we put all new floors in. We basically redid the entire unit. It was just plastered walls that we had. I wish we could spend some money on putting a new floor down and renovating the business inside. I mean, it's still nice to look at inside, and we touch things up as we go. Yeah. But it would be good to almost have a clean slate. Yeah. But the costs of that are just, again, it's really difficult to justify and pay for. I think, and I suppose the final thing is, I'd love to be able to replicate what we're doing in other units. Yeah. And create a bigger, tasty brand. And I wish that we didn't have so many little nuances in the business. That means that it'd be really difficult to do that somewhere else. But then on the flip side of that, I'm glad that it isn't, because those little nuances are probably the things that make us unique and that make people want to come back to us. Yeah.
Have you ever had like a kind of star sort of menu item that's like, this is what everyone comes here for, they're all to get this sandwich or whatever?
I suppose originally from Headingley, when we first started, we created a bit of a menu with things that we liked, and all the sandwiches just had really boring, bland names. And then we created which was a bit of a mouthful, a chicken, bacon, mushroom, blue cheese sandwich. That then became the signature, the tasty sandwich. Yeah. And then we created a sandwich called the Mexican, which is still probably one of our most popular sandwiches today. So it's fajita chicken, peppers, chorizo, and jalapeno mayo.
Yeah, sold.
Sounds quite simple, but it stood the test of time.
Yeah.
So I suppose we've always had those core things that people have come to us, and that it's quite funny that you get people 5 years after Heading had closed and they suddenly stumble across Tasty in Oakwood and they're like, oh my god, is this the same Tasty?
Yeah, I used to get that occasion. It's like, they'll be like, did you used to be in Headingley? I used to go when I was a student.
So we've done a few things like that. We used to have an Alpine cheese dog, it was called, and we had one of the staff who actually drew a picture of a sausage skiing down a ski slope in the Alps. So that's my favourite name for a sandwich. But yeah,
we don't just do sandwiches though, we do like burgers, like salads, paninis, flatbreads are really popular at the moment as well.
Yeah. So yeah, we've not really got a star at the moment. But yeah, it is quite interesting that how people do remember certain things, and they do come back to you because of it.
Yeah. Well, and taste as well. It's that whole thing of, anyone that had that sandwich back in the day and found you, and if they got it again, instantly when they bite into that,
they're back.
Yeah.
Living their student life.
So, how are we doing on time? Okay, we're going pretty fast. I may have shortchanged you here. So I'm going to... So, as I said, we talked before, so I want to pick your brains a little bit. Obviously, this is not a fully formed thing yet, so you can only talk about it so much. But you have plans to do something else, or you're wanting to stretch out into a new area. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it's something I've been thinking about for a while, and I suppose it's quite similar to when we first opened the cafe. It was a thought process that took a couple of years to process and get there. And I'm quite close to launching it, but I want to help hospitality businesses, primarily the smaller businesses, that I feel have got a lot more potential than they're showing. So it's quite difficult for me when I go out for some food, because I see, and I always get in trouble from Rebecca for this.
You're just criticising everything.
Yeah, I have to keep it inside me. I can't.
Well, that's wrong. That's wrong.
I can't say for professional courtesy, you need to do that. You need to do that. But I just, from experience, and I know we're not perfect as a business, but from experience, I can see if they did like that, or if they did like that, or they change something around the menu around that.
Yeah.
They could do so much better.
Yeah.
And we got a business coach in just after probably a couple of years after we opened Oakwood, and it was a massive benefit to us.
Yeah.
He said we weren't visible enough on the high street. The sign didn't quite work. People didn't know what we did, and he didn't really talk to us about customer service, because he understood that, like, I've got a good understanding of what great customer service looks like, and but I'd love to be able to go to places and share that knowledge. But the thing is, as soon as you look at business coaching or training for businesses, it's prohibitively expensive. It's really expensive to get that sort of thing. So my goal is to start small with companies, show them the benefits of what they can achieve. So just things like looking at the service. How good is the service? What could they do to change that? What do they know about the financials of the business? So do they know what the food cost is? And I can guarantee a lot of businesses potentially they wouldn't know the exact details of it.
Yeah. What's making money, and how much does that cost? What's that margin on it?
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of businesses find themselves, they get into 2-3 years down the line and they're building up a debt, but people don't realise what they can do and how they can save money. Just helping people with the food safety, to making sure they're getting a 5-star food hygiene rating, which can be a massive impact. Coffee shops, so the amount of times there's some amazing coffee shops in Leeds, some great independent places that do amazing coffee, there's a lot of places that don't particularly focus on the coffee, and you go there and you really worry what you're going to receive. So just giving people, doing a training session, we had the guys from Lane's Espresso came to do some training with us 10 years ago, was it, or so?
Yeah.
Completely changed how we made the coffee. We thought we were great making the coffee. We thought, oh, there's foam on top of that cappuccino, that must be good, but it was boiling hot and the coffee was bitter. But just doing training sessions with people around that, helping them to do that. How do they do? What's the plans around the marketing? I'm not going to say I'm going to give people social media training, but I can put them in the right direction of someone who can help them about talking to them about what the importance of that is.
Yeah.
I just want it to be affordable, and then so if people see the benefit of that as they grow, they see the benefits, and then that becomes regular business for me. What is their short-term plans? What are the long-term plans? So where I was 5 years ago, I had no 5-year plan.
Yeah.
Whereas now I've got a 5-year plan.
Yeah.
I understand the benefits of that.
Yeah.
And just helping them think about that. And on the recent Help to Grow course that I was on, they said, where are you going to be and what are you going to do? And I went into that, and they said when I first went up in the first session, I was really wishy-washy and I didn't have a clue around what I was going to do. And by the end of it, in the facilitator, he said you just become laser focused. You know exactly what you're wanting, and I think that would be great to share that with people.
Yeah.
So the structure of how I'm going to do this, I'm not sure. I think we talked before on the podcast, before we started the podcast. Yeah, doing a podcast on this would be great.
Yeah.
And I think speaking to you today has given me that confidence to think, well, actually, yeah, it's something that we can do and we should do. Yeah. So we're just sort of in the final stages, and it's the first thing on the morning now. The first thing that goes on my list is what can I do to create this business. So yeah, it's really exciting times, and yeah, just want to formulate exactly how it's going to look and how we move forward, I suppose.
So it's a matter of creating resources now, courses and lesson plans and
building a website where people can dip into that website and they can find there's a tutorial on something, or they can a lesson on how do we steam milk, or just simple things like that, and then off the back of that, then I can then go into the businesses and help support them that way as well.
Are you going to keep the same branding, or would it be a different?
I think we had this discussion a couple of days ago around what would we call it, what would we do around the branding. I really don't know. I don't know if linking it to the same company is would be beneficial, because people could see that we've been there for that.
And you've already got some brand recognition there, and you're linking it to that,
so
and
that's a really good thing.
You've got followers, but then do you want it to have a separate identity? And I can see both sides of that. Yeah. Well, you've got a lot of work ahead of you.
But it's exciting. It's something that it's something different from the day to day that we've been doing for the last 15, 18,
And it's something to do with the knowledge as well. It's like, I've accumulated all this knowledge, what's it worth? And who's it worth anything to? And it's like, well, it's actually really valuable, especially if you can pass it on to other people.
Because I think, there's a lot of people who are really good at business coaching, but they don't necessarily have that subject matter. And I think I've got the subject matter. I think I just need to grow my coaching skills, which I suppose I do have some. I've been a sales coach in my time. I've been a team trainer. So I do understand that side of things, but it's not necessarily what I've been focusing on for the last 15 years.
Yeah. But I mean, to a degree, managing people has a training aspect. It's got absolutely. The review, supervision sort of thing. Yeah. So you've got existing skills in that area. Yeah. Rebecca, any exciting plans for you? Or are you just struggling away with trying to get time for social media?
Trying to work out social media.
Are you on sort of all channels?
Facebook and Instagram. I've not banned myself from TikTok.
Did you try it? Was it too addictive?
Yeah, and this is the other thing. I kind of get like down this rabbit hole of so.
It's designed to distract you. You go on there and you lose hours, and it's like all I wanted to do was put a post up.
I know. I went through a period. So when we had somebody covering our social media, I came off all social media for about a year, and then when we had to bring it back in house, I had to put them back on my phone, and that was it. I was straight back into them again. So yeah, Facebook and Instagram.
Would you? I think there's a space for a YouTube channel for you there, especially going down that route of videos of how to do this. Here's a quick video.
Yeah, that could be really good for what you've just been talking about.
Absolutely.
Actually.
Yeah, I've never, because YouTube's been about for so long, I've never really thought. But I think it's I'll definitely look into that. That's
I mean, it's a good place to house the videos and then share from there, kind of thing. So even if they're not going to the website, it's a good place to host it for free, and then you can direct people to the videos. I mean, with the podcasts as well, if you want to do it for free, best way is YouTube, because you can just put stuff up there for free. That would be my tip from 5 years of doing this. So I've basically gone through all my questions, which I kind of rushed through because of the time constraints. Here's a decent question then. Because you've been in the industry for a long time, you're running your own place. Do you still get to do the parts of the job that you love? Do you still get to do what you got into it for?
Yes. Yeah, sometimes. So the thing that I really love is creating a new dish, helping to create a new sandwich or a new flatbread, or that's something that I don't get as much time as I want to. Probably because of the logistics of changing the menu. We're just installing a new specials board, so that means that gives me license with my chefs to start creating loads of different things and saying, right, okay, we'll have this week, we'll do this next week. They once it's there and they're sending that food out, they love it. But sometimes that can be a little bit bull in a china shop, where I'm saying, right, let's create this new dish. But it's something that I really do enjoy is creating the new flavours, looking at something that we potentially tried if we've been on a trip somewhere, and then putting our own take on it, doing a bit of research. I did quite a lot of work on long, slow cooked meats and barbecue sort of stuff. We still do our own pulled pork in the restaurant. So yeah, I really enjoy creating new things. And then Rebecca's quite good as well at coming up with a vegetarian alternative for things. Because Rebecca doesn't eat meat, so it's good that I think you quite enjoy creating the vegetarian.
Giving you the kind of ideas.
The ideas,
yeah.
I had a vegetarian on, I can't remember at what point in the interview the question came up, but they made the point of like, vegetarian food has got a lot better in the last few years.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm really grateful for that, because most of the time you'd go somewhere and you'd be like, I can make better than this at home. And it was just so terrible. So it's kind of good that you've actually got a vegetarian in the restaurant to help with making with.
And it's always been important that there's something tasty that's not got meat in it on the menu, because Paul's a very avid meat eater, and so just having that kind of voice of balance of what else.
But so often it's just left as like, here's some green stuff or chips, and it's like vegetables can have flavour as well.
Yeah. And I think now, like you said, in the last few years, especially with sort of veganism, there are so many alternatives as well that are available that weren't available when we first started, it was just cheese, egg, that was it.
Yeah. Salad.
Yeah.
Chips.
Chips,
I really love looking after the customers and just getting a great reaction from them.
Yeah, that's
something I meant to tell Rebecca yesterday. A customer came back. They're from Guiseley, and the husband had bought a teapot, and he was just waiting while his wife had an appointment at the hospital, and he said Rebecca really looked after us. Something as simple as putting the teapot into 2 cups with tinfoil over the top of the cups.
I remember.
And they came back yesterday, just as so they could both eat in the cafe because they really enjoyed that side of the service.
Yeah, that's great.
And then they said, "Oh, we'll be back again because we've loved it."
Yeah.
So just it's something that we've always really enjoyed doing, and it's something that customers really do appreciate.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably the big driving force behind why we do the business is people enjoy coming to see us.
Yeah, just seeing people, just making people happy, and just even if they come in and they're a bit down or something's gone wrong, just turning it around and they walk out and they feel a bit better.
Yeah.
That's where I get my buzz from.
Yeah. Sit down, have a nice cup of tea and a biscuit, and
Yeah.
I feel better now. I've got some sugar and caffeine
Yeah.
in. I can take this on. So, is there anything else that we want to talk about? Anything else that you want to cover, or you want to revisit? Anything that you want to go back to? Just to give you the opportunity to do it. I'm not going to artificially drag it out for no reason.
Yeah.
I don't know if we need to do the social media bit again, and I won't be so like
I mean,
about it.
If you want, I mean, you can listen back to it. When you listen back to it, you can always be like, "Oh, take that out. We'll do it again."
I just feel like I've just basically said I don't know what I'm doing.
I mean, who does?
And I think that's one of the part of the charm of our social media.
Yeah.
I mean, I've definitely seen you guys on there. Like, you are, you're a brand that I recognise from Instagram.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't tell you that many of the posts or whatever, but the branding is strong.
Yeah.
Like, I do recognise all
So
of
we
it.
had, when we opened the shop in Headingley, we had a completely different branding. It was capital letters with an exclamation mark on the end, and it was hot pink, black and white, very like...
But that was because we were on a little side street just opposite where the box is in Headingley.
Yeah.
And it was we wanted to get our voice out there, and the strapline underneath Tasty was sandwiches to shout about.
Mm-hmm.
So we were just tucked away.
Yeah, so it worked perfectly in Headingley with like bright pink and exclamation marks and but we tried that in
when we opened in Oakwood, we just had the same, like, it was block type Tasty exclamation mark, and it was white, black and purple. And for a few years we had this signage, and when we decided to rebrand, I had people come in and they'd say, "Oh, I thought you were a kebab shop before," or "Oh, I thought you were a something else." And because we just got the branding so wrong, people had not been coming in.
Yeah, they just made an assumption based on the sign.
Exactly. And then we had a rebrand with Picture Smiths, and then that's us.
It worked.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much of a difference it makes.
Yeah. But it's that you have to go. It's that thing, isn't it? And it goes back to what you're saying with this sort of new venture. It's like you need to go to the people who know, and they know because they've done it. And not just because they've done it successfully, they've done it wrong.
Yes.
That's the big... We did this, it was all wrong, and then we learned, and now we know what to do.
Yeah.
And it's that, I think, one of the other questions that I was going to ask you about being in Oakwood, largely just as a way to give it a name check on the podcast. So the farmers market.
Yes.
Do you get anything off the back of that? Because I would imagine that people come down and they buy their bits when the farmers market's on, and then they want to sit down and...
Yeah, it's this Saturday actually. It's so popular.
Yeah.
I think in the 14 years we've been there, they've cancelled it once because of bad weather. Other than that, they're there, rain, shine, whatever, and the community love it.
Yeah.
They absolutely love it.
It's great. I went down. Yeah.
It's so busy as well, and everybody comes out to support them.
And the clock being refurbed.
Yes.
I mean, it is a venue. Like, it's a spot now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like a place to go.
Yeah, and I was talking to somebody about this the other day actually, because they were saying, God, there's so many. I'm allowed to say that word. Gosh, there's so many food places and drink places in Oakwood, and it's a foodie place. It's like a hub now for if you want to get some food, some drinks. You can go to Oakwood, and if somewhere's busy, you just go to somewhere else. You know, there's always something available to people and different as well.
Yeah, but I think that was probably down to the clock being refurbed.
Yeah.
So when the clock was being refurbed, there was quite a few events. We had was it Clock Rock and Two Empty Barrels. It was like a beer festival with some music on just in the car park on the square, and it got loads of people into Oakwood who'd not been there before. There was different food vendors. There was food stalls. There was, I think, the Yummy Yank were like a American confectionery. Yeah, so they were there. There was, and we did probably maybe 2 or 3 more of those events over the time we were trying to raise money to refurb the clock. All the businesses there got loads of support from the community for doing that. So we were supporting the community. They were then supporting us back, and then people then saw what potential Oakwood had.
Yeah.
And they saw, right, there's all this demographic around here that can really support the type of businesses that we want to open. And there's been some that have opened and it's not worked out for them, but there's been others that have been there. It's grown, and the real good thing about Oakwood is, I think Rebecca touched on it, is everybody's doing something different. We're all complementing each other.
Yeah, you've got a real mix there, and it's not just mostly students.
So it's a really great place, especially from when we first started, and I looked out the window and I thought we'd made the biggest mistake ever.
But you made a go of it, and that's what counts. I mean, I suppose as well you get fallout from whatever's going to be on at Round Day. I mean, to a degree, all of Street Lane exists because of Roundy Park, doesn't it? So, I mean, it's obvious to kind of have... That's what I was going to say. So, I can remember back when Chapel Island was like a restaurant, you know? Well, before it was the place, it was just 1 or 2 restaurants or whatever, and that's all it takes to make somewhere a destination. I mean, you need more than 1, but you get 3 or 4 restaurants in a place that people want to go to. That's now a destination. And I think that's underappreciated sometimes. It's kind of like, oh, we don't need this here or we don't need that there. It's like, you do. You need stuff. People need stuff to do. And we know that from being locked down in COVID. And like you say, the same walk every day. And how often it's like, what's around here? There's not much on my doorstep. And I think that's changing a little bit, like you say, the change in habits. I think people are coming into town less unless they need to be in town. So we need more local stuff, I think. And
when years ago, when a new business opened near us, I'd panic and think, oh my God, they're going to take business from us. But it's not. We've learned over the years that new businesses, they'll bring their own following.
Yeah, they compliment you.
Yeah, they'll compliment you. Some of their customers, when they're full, they'll come into you. When you're full, your customers will go into them. And it brings more people, and it's something that it took me a few years to realise that. But I think it's definitely the more the merrier. Yeah,
well, we get sort of. I'm thinking of baggage. We get lumbered. That's what I'm looking at. We get lumbered with a lot of prejudices about work and how work works when you're going into work. And like you say, it's taken me this long to unpack that and go, actually, no, that's wrong. I've been working for so many decades at this point, but and under that impression. But it's taken me this long to go, actually, no, that's wrong. And until it's tested, it's that being tested thing, isn't it? And then it's like, oh, that assumption that I had is actually just an assumption. It's not real. Okay. I think I can't think of any more questions at the moment.
Okay.
So unless there's anything else that you guys want to talk about, I'm going to start wrapping it up.
I think so. It's been really interesting I suppose it's made us think a little bit more about our business and where we are, where we've been, and what's going to happen in the future.
It's kind of like a weird low-level coaching thing, isn't it? But because you're doing all the work, you're just talking about what you do and so on, and it's like just having that. It's like the sounding board sort of thing of like, oh, I've just. you're talking about something that's every day to you, and then because you're talking about it to someone else, things occur to you, and you're like, oh, actually. So yeah, I do. I think it's got its own inherent value of just chatting about what you do, and it gets you to think about things in a different way sometimes. So thank you very much for doing this.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
I do feel a little bit like I shortchanged you. I am going to mention these on the recording because...
Okay, yeah. To be fair, so one of the things, what people have always said, it's the tasty brownies, our super gooey brownies, as they've been known as for years. So we started them in Headingley after probably the first year. Yeah, that's one of the things that people have definitely come back for.
So what have I got in here? So they've brought some treats for me. I've got... Oh, is that a pecan pie?
So no, that is... that's a maple and pecan apribrod. So we use, for some of our pastry goods, we use Baltersons in Harrogate. So that's from those guys. Because that's way above our level. That's so good. Although our brownies... so your brownie that you've got there has got a Biscoff cream and then Biscoff crumb on the top of it.
So that's made in house.
That's made in house.
Yeah. So you're at the top of being my favourite guest now because I've got free cakes. So nothing makes Simon more happy than cakes and cookies.
The recording didn't work. Can you come back?
Yeah, none of that worked. I need 3 more meetings. But yeah, thank you very much for the cakes. I'm really looking forward to eating those. And thank you very much for doing this. I do feel a little bit like I shortchanged you, so if you want to
that's fine.
send any additional bits.
I think that's plenty of time.
Sometimes it's better to kind of rush through it because you're more focused on what you're saying and so on. How are we doing for time?
As long as you've got enough material to... It's not going to be a 10-minute podcast.
I mean, it'll all stay in, but it might be a bit shorter than my usual ones. I think the shortest one I've done is just under an hour, but that's no bad shakes. I think the main thing that puts people off is the length of the interviews. But I kind of need and want that space. It's one of those things where, like you're saying, I know a lot of stuff that I'm doing is wrong in terms of what I should be doing, but also I don't care. I want to do it this way.
Yeah.
So that's where.
How long have you been doing the podcast for?
So I did the first kind of recordings back end of 2019.
Okay.
And then I was starting properly in 2020. And then we got locked down, and then because I was doing everything in person, I had much bigger kit, so I was lumping stuff around, and you'd have headphones to wear and the mic in front of you and stuff. And I was like, oh, well, I can't do it now. Because I didn't think, we just record online. So that took me several months, because I'm really smart, me. And then I was like, oh, I could record online. But then the other thing in that year, I did send a few emails out to try and get guests and so on. But nobody was replying, and you didn't know if anyone was even looking at them. You were like, is anything happening? Is anyone about? So I just focused on posting on Instagram and trying to get whoever from that. But yeah, I did manage to get a few people who just sort of volunteered. But most of my guests either come from a direct invite or from a referral. Because you're sending out, not soliciting emails, but cold emails, and everyone gets millions of those, and it's kind of like, podcast and this, and like, is that real or is that just more spam rubbish? And it's I'm at the point it's like I need to do profile raising so that people know not only that I'm here but also what I'm doing, which is not clear messaging the way that I'm doing it at the moment, but I'm working on it. So I'll get there.
It's been good, and everybody who I've talked to saying, "Oh, are we going on a podcast?" Oh, that's really exciting, and it is.
It is.
It's something that I'm on LinkedIn, and I struggle to post about what at the moment. I've done a few bits about the coaching business thing, but I'm thinking what and I'm on a podcast. So I'll be getting a picture of us 3 to go on LinkedIn. But I think it's exciting. I think the more people that do it, I think it's definitely something that's helped us and made us think about things. And I'll definitely recommend you to people.
Yeah, I think it's I think I am very happy with the product, and I have put time and thought into it, but I haven't so much thought about the other things. And the whole sort of 1,000 people in 10 years sounded really easy before I started doing it. If I can get 2 people a week,
How many people are you up to?
In terms of recordings, I'm must be up to near 200 now in terms of recordings, and the goal. I mean, there's always, I could do one every day.
Yeah.
If the profile gets high enough in the last year and smash out what I'm missing. But at this rate, I'm way off target. Yeah. I mean, I'm halfway through that time and I'm at not even 150 published episodes yet. So
how long does it take you to edit like this?
It's about twice the length. Right. So for 2 hours, I'm looking at a sort of minimum of 4 hours. Wow. Unless it's really straightforward and it's just listening. But even then, you have to fiddle. The one that I was doing last night, I wanted to spend all day editing yesterday. I was messing around. I was posting and I was answering emails, and I didn't get started on editing until 7 o'clock at night, and then I finished at 11. Oh. So, and I'm doing that for free because I'm an idiot. So, but I mean, it's enjoyable. It's the other purpose that I want to do it for is because I've been out in Leeds for a long time, and it's a good way to network. Yeah. And it's like, get your face about, and also get to know the city again and what's happening and what's been going on. And
so what types of people are you looking for to do the podcast?
Anyone, really. Anyone. My initial sort of, the way that I conceived it originally was very much more traditional working class roles and builders and tradesmen and like shop floor staff, and very much focused on employees rather than business owners, but as well because when I started, Adventure obviously, I got involved with some of their classes, and then there was some other people that were starting up and stuff at the same time, so I was talking to other people about the experience of starting businesses and stuff. This was before the Leeds podcast existed, Leeds Business podcast existed, and then there wasn't really many kind of telling that story of Leeds, and it's interesting in itself of just that initial startup period. And also the amount of people that are self-employed now, it's kind of, that's the sort of working class pursuit these days. So it's, and the whole class thing, there's a whole mess in there, like how relevant these terms even are anymore, but I think there's a discussion that needs to happen there in terms of that. Anyway, I'm waffling about nonsense. But that it was way more, flat caps and whippets kind of a podcast. I was describing myself, because of the flat cap, as like a cyberpunk Fred Dibner is where I want to be. But I mean, it's just interesting to talk to people about what they're doing. Yeah. And I've said this before on the podcast, I expected, because a lot of jobs that I've worked in, you're working with other people, and it's that whole attitude that a lot of us have in this country of like, oh, it's Monday, work, it's all rubbish. And I talk to people and everyone's like, I love my job. My job's great. I like doing it. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe they're all just saying that because they're on a podcast, but I actually think that they mean it.
Yeah.
And people, but we keep getting told it's like that thing of with the UBI, people won't work. They will. People love to work.
Yeah. Because, during COVID, when you had all this downtime, if obviously COVID wasn't a great thing, and if somebody had told you before COVID, I'd not tell you the reason, but you'll have a few months off work, you'd be like, oh, brilliant, but actually it wasn't all it cracked up to be. And so you want your mind to be busy, and you want to be, or for me, to be social, and to see the people that you work with and your customers, and just have those conversations and the fun throughout the day. because otherwise it's just a bit boring, isn't it?
Yeah, and you want to be useful. Everyone kind of wants to be useful.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it's all about. Like, you know, I'm helping. I'm doing something.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, that's a nice note to end on. I might stop us there. So, thank you very much to both of you for doing this. It's lovely to meet you both. And again, I'm really looking forward to those cakes. And I'm not just wrapping it up so I can eat those. Thank you again to Paul and Rebecca for being my guests. Apologies to Jo Myers for my stupid brain mixing her up with Jo Holdsworth, which is a recruitment agency in Leeds. Sorry about that, Jo. If you've not heard Jo's interview, go listen to it now. It's episode 140, Work is Hot to Trot, and the link is in the show notes. Thanks, as always, to all my guests, and thanks to you, Leeds, for being my subject. You can find Tasty in Oakwood and online at tastyleeds.com or Instagram at tastyleeds, facebook.com/tastyleeds. Go to the Tasty Cafe in Oakwood or get them for your catering. They have damn fine cakes, I can tell you from first-hand experience, and their pizza shop, Ottimo, is next door. So check out ottimo.pizza as well. And if you want to know what margs and what doesn't, you can also follow Verve Bar on Instagram for those videos. If you listen to the Leeds Business podcast, because obviously you know there's a podcast that I edit and publish that's actually popular because I've obviously told you about it, you will have heard John Gingell from North Bar telling his story on that podcast. And if you haven't heard it, give it a listen. It's really good. So if you listen to that one next, then you can go to Preston's Bar after you've been to Tasty and Ottimo for a Leeds podcast hat trick. Tag me or email me if you do that. Also, tell them you went in there because of the podcast. I'm going to get that whole damn Oakwood parade on a Leeds podcast. I've just decided it. It's happening. Rico's, Coco, et al., I'm coming for you. But not directly because I'm not inviting people onto the show anymore. If you want to be on the show, you have to book one of the free 25 remaining places. And you have to do that before they're gone. And it's first come, first serve. And if you can't sort your appointment time out or you can't make your appointment, then it just goes to the next person because I don't have the time to organise it now. Also, someone tell Amy Bennett at Chunk from Series 4, Episode 13, Work is Tasty Goodness, that now that I actually know where her new shop is, I am going to go up there and try and blag a free cookie off her for a social post at some point. I'll probably spend some money too, especially if I ever get any again. If you'd like to contact me about anything working hours related, then you can email me about the show at workinghourspod@western-studios.com. Don't forget to hit that donate button on the player if you're listening on the Captivate webpage, and please chuck in whatever you can afford to help us pay our debts so that they can then go and create more loans because your spend is someone else's income. Okay, that's me. Remember, listener, no matter what you do, it's impossible for you to understand anything that your salary depends on you not understanding. So try to work for peace and try to plan with kindness. Raise your voice, but reduce your impact. Cheers, ears. Take care out there. And be kind to each other, Leeds. Working Hours is produced, recorded, edited, created and published by Simon Treen for Western Studios Leeds Limited. The music was The Bees from Chopin's Etudes, which is in the public domain and was taken from museopen.org. Remember Western Studios Leeds Limited when you're ready to start making your content in West Yorkshire. Follow Western Studios Leeds on Facebook, facebook.com/Western_Studios_Leeds, and on LinkedIn, linkedin.com/company/Western-Studios. Bookmark western-studios.com so you can see the latest prices and use my contact page to drop me a message about your own podcast project or working hours at any time from anywhere. Maybe you want or need a podcast host, co-host or narrator for your podcast project. Maybe you just need another voice for one or more episodes of your show. Podcasts are so much more than gossip, book promotions, and marketing for online courses. Podcasts and other audio content get your online brand out there. Want to make some fundraising case studies? Want to have an audiobook or video course? Want to share your learning, knowledge, and expertise in your field? Want to learn, teach, or raise awareness of something general or particular? Want to improve internal comms with messages your staff might actually engage with? Or do you just want to brighten up the world with some entertaining content? Then make a podcast. If you're making your podcast within West Yorkshire, then think about making it with western-studios.com. Whatever your podcast questions or needs, get in touch with Western Studios Leeds.